to another episode of Foolish, Foolish, Foolish Mortals. My mortals, we welcome you back. As always, we have with us our podcast producer, Nathan, who has written in his bit, Snowy. What, Snowy? Are you an owl now?
Hello,
What's
Daniel.
going on?
No, we have just gotten 8 inches, something like that, here in Maryland.
Whoa.
I'm just all snow.
Why are you touching yourself? So for those
This
who are
is
listening,
like my Chris Evans
for those who
sweater.
are just listening,
Just so you know
Nathan
that
just
he's
went to
snowed
a
up.
whole journey of touching himself. And live from his recent trip to visit his secret wife in his secret attic in the Anaheim. It's Dallin, Mortholes. He's back,
me.
baby.
I'm finally. You're not supposed to know about that, Dan.
Well, you came back with your head because she doesn't have an axe anymore.
No.
She's just clinically depressed. Dallin, welcome back from Disneyland. How was your trip, buddy?
Oh, it's great. It's like that meme where that guy does the peace sign and just slowly fades away in the attic scene. Now that's exactly what it reminds me of every time I see it. That was me. No, it was great. I had a great trip.
You were home
Dallin,
going into the bushes.
Yeah, exactly.
Dallin, are you the one with the axe to grind now? Is that
I guess since Constance doesn't have an axe anymore, which we'll talk about, I guess I do have the axe to grind.
Yeah, I guess you do. I guess
a couple
you do.
of things, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dallin, just give it to me, Frank. How bad is it? Like, what? How bad was the damage? Like, what are the damage points our character has taken in the Haunted Mansion D&D campaign we're currently playing?
Now, Dan, I know you're talking about damage points. This bride is a marked improvement, vast improvement, huge improvement. The figure herself, I would say, is a massive improvement. And I've been talking with some cast members and some leads down there in Orlando, and it's only a matter of time.
Oh yeah, the permit's been filed, man. It's coming. It's coming.
It's only a matter of time. The whole attic scene as a whole, like I said, the entirety of the husbands disappearing is just like you said, Homer Simpson disappearing into the bushes kind of vibes. Where it's
so their whole body is now disappearing.
They just go away, completely.
Dumb. Well,
Dan,
so cool.
We don't want little girls aspiring to go out there and becoming axe murderers because that's what you think when you see
huge problem we have right now in the matriarchy is axe murdering. Yeah, that's definitely a thing we need to worry about. So
I mean, in this country, any matriarchy. No.
Right. So the figure is cool. You're saying the figure is cool.
The figure is great. I do
Does
have one
have
complaint.
Like movement? Does she have like a bounce and squish?
She
just
sort of does this little thing.
She does a little this.
She does a little bit of this.
Should I bring up? Should we showcase this beaut?
Sure. Yeah. Bring her up.
This lady beaut.
Because everything on the bride, she's a 9 out of 10, Dan. She's a straight 9 out of 10. The one thing that makes me mad is her face. Her face looks very bad.
Well, I think that it's because it's a piece of it's like a cloth dummy face.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's a contoured. It's like a projection that has contouring and shadowing onto almost a flat surface. Like if someone were to take a flash photo of this, you'd be like, "What's up with the face?" It's
exactly.
like Slender Man face. You know what I mean?
With like the Seven Dwarfs, or even I guess to an extent the Frozen gang over at Epcot, they sort of have a little bit of sculpting on the face to make it look a little better.
But this is not. This is like a COVID mask. Weirdly, it's like it has like this weird energy.
Yeah. Oh, is that what happened to her husbands? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you
I
go.
keep comparing
Influenza. The Spanish influenza.
The Spanish influenza made its way to New Orleans. It's I keep comparing it to
it's just it's in north of the Gulf of America where Spaniards were constantly there. It's obviously Dallin. Come on, get it together, man.
I'm comparing it to like PlayStation 2 graphics face, which is so weird because the rest of the
it's
figure
Laura
is so
Croft
good.
Face. It's Laura Croft face.
I'm getting
it's
Golden
Tomb Raider
Eye.
face.
It's got 4
Golden Eye
polygons.
Yeah. Okay, and it's so interesting because right up next to her picture, right next to that photo, like in this picture, you have her like portrait there, and it's like that's not a lady. That's just a cartoon.
If she circled around to the music from 007 GoldenEye, I'd be like, "Yep,
yep."
It would make sense. Yeah, like this is a PS1 graphical face, but it's so jarring because the rest of the figure I think is really, really well done. With the they do a little bit of Pepper's ghosts. They do a little Pep ghost in there with the wisps of light and the flames on her candelabra. That's really nice.
Interesting.
It gives the scene some depth. But
so how does this critically damage canon outside of the attic? Does it, like, is this still Constance? Is her last name still Hatchaway?
You can even see it in this picture. I noticed. I didn't even think about it, but you can see her name is still Constance. She is still Constance. Her name is still Constance. Probably, maybe not Hatchaway, but that bride's name is still Constance canonically.
Constance Sobby baby. Constance Sobby baby.
Yeah. Crybaby Constance.
Yeah. Now, boys don't cry, Constance.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think this figure would be immensely better if they adhered back to one of the earlier versions, which was the beating heart but no face. That sort of dark.
With just the two white, sort of Mothman
scary.
eyes.
It's so creepy.
That was nice, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, because they do it down in the tomb, in the graveyard. The tomb has like that spectral with like the
it still creeps me out.
Not anymore, Dan.
Really?
We gotta talk about that. Because it's the lore implications. Not anymore.
Okay. Yeah, let's peel it back, Dallin. Tell me what's going on.
So you see that candelabra that she's holding is specifically modeled
the hallway candelabra
after the hallway candelabra. So that is implied to be her now in the hallway. So at least, Dan, she hasn't materialized yet. At least they've learned that from
I've been told that we can materialize in the hallway. I heard it was perfectly fine. If
not
you have
Disneyland hallway, because Disneyland actually matters.
Well, no, but she's clinically depressed, much like Hatbox Ghost. So that opens the doors for her to appear earlier.
She's not a happy haunt.
Yeah, she's not a happy haunt. She's Constance Sobby baby.
Right.
She's a little sad, you know.
Yes. So, which brings me to that little mausoleum near the exit with the opera singers.
Did they put a screen in it?
They did not put a screen. It's practical. Do not worry. They got rid of the little Grim Reaper sort of like glowy eye Mothman dude, and they put a candelabra very similar, the same candelabra.
But you can't see her
from the endless hallway. You can't see her in it though. Even though they have materialized, because the Greek, it was like a scrim. It was this painted thing. Is it a painted candelabra? Yeah,
or is it a little practical one that floats?
It's a little practical candelabra. It's smaller to give it sort of like it's like further back into the mausoleum, but it is a painted candelabra, same effect on a little stick that sort of floats around.
This is fascinating. It's so crazy how we are George Lucasing the Haunted Mansion. It is wild.
Well, little Leota does say McClunky now. I heard that.
Now she says McClunky. When you leave, she's like,
be sure to McClunky. Yep. You think Kim Irvine wakes up in a cold sweat every now and then being like, we gotta fix it.
That's the clip right there. Just ends at us all laughing at McClunky. That's the clip.
I think
I want to talk about Kim. Let's talk about Kim Irvine. You've already brought her up.
I talked about her in my video, and I think she's great. She seems like she cares about the history of the mansion a lot. I don't know if Disney was feeding her those lines about little girls aspiring to be axe murderers, and that's why we have to take her out of the mansion, or if that's what she genuinely believes.
Disney definitely fed her that. Like they were problem solving. Yeah. Disney corporate was problem solving, and then they brought her in.
Right.
But how do you feel? Because we haven't talked about it, Dallin. We have to talk about the AI portrait that they put in Somewhere Beyond, and Kim Irvine's absolutely detached from reality response.
I shall read the quote.
Please.
Okay, go for it.
Let's see here. First of all, the first quote is, how they can find one thing out of all this cool stuff is the first quote. How they being us, by the way.
Which is, the point of Disneyland is to, pay attention to the details, but whatever.
Right. And then, of course, this one, they felt like it would be appropriate for this is, of course, the AI art. They thought it would be appropriate for a short time until they could put something else in. They never intended to do anything bad, and it is gone now. We're going to bring something back in that is hand-painted like all of these other pieces are. Okay, Kim, can you explain to me who these toddlers are that are just like
running amok?
It's the tech bros in Imagineering who are saying, guys, listen.
It's fine.
Well,
it's great.
Is there anything that has told us more than this quote that marketing completely or merchandising did this entire barn and Imagineering barely had anything to do with it. Like this idea that she says they as if she's not an Imagineer, as if she's not a part of that process.
It's this weird, and Kim, God bless you, but you're a Nepo baby and you are detached from reality. You are not fully congealed with the people who had to work hard to like make their art to get seen and climb the ladders and become something. And God bless you, but there is a weird disconnect between you being part of a team that has groomed us as Disney adults for 50 years, 60 years to pay attention to every single minutia of every corner of this incredible of this incredibly immersive storytelling like land that we're escaping into, and then all of a sudden it's like wait, why is everyone paying attention to all the details?
Let's get back to a quote from Kim Irvine's mouth from the Imagineering story, which goes basically, I can't quote it because I don't have it in front of me, but basically is guests aren't stupid. They know when we're not paying for things.
Yeah, which brings me back to did Disney feed her that line? They had to have, right?
Had to have been
Disney feeding her that line.
Kim's getting some media training, I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Like I said, Kim, legend. She's done great things for the mansion. We can talk about the extended queue, but that was a really bad take. Really bad take.
It's such a weird take to it just insults everyone that works underneath you and everyone who comes to appreciate the things that we have been told to come and appreciate about. I don't go to Six Flags, baby. And that's why. This is why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go to Cedar Fair. Yeah, I'm seeing Disney Dan, baby. I'm here for the immersion, the storytelling, like the immersive theatrical experiences.
Not to mention, Six Flags Dan doesn't really have a ring to it.
Six Flags Dan, I think would be a nice,
Well, and also one of those flags is the Confederate flag, and we don't talk about that. And so, whoops.
Is that your Bizarro Dan? He's like completely shaved. And
That's my Alex Jones. That's my Alex Jones Dan. Six Flags Dan.
Six Flags Dan.
They're putting chemicals in the roller coaster waters. They're turning the toddlers gay. With their log flumes.
Genuinely not a bad impression.
No, it's first time I ever did it too. So I have to ask, this gift shop, the Somewhere Beyond, was it walled back up when you were there? Were the walls back up?
It's so funny because everyone was complaining about it, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'm going to see it for myself. And Disney said, "Oh no, Offhand Disney's coming to town. We got to cover this up now so he doesn't see it."
Cover it back up. What happened? Why does it wall back up?
Apparently there's some drainage problems with the land grading, and so the front of the store was getting flooded with water. Not necessarily like flooded, but there were puddles everywhere, so they had to
Nothing makes me realize that Disneyland is run like the Trump organization, like this building. You know what I mean? It's just like somebody got in there. They're like, "Oh yeah, I can handle this, guys. I got it." And someone believed in them, inappropriately believed in them. You know what I mean? And it's just been problem after problem since.
It's insane because listen. Whoever they got working the land grading at Disneyland, fire that guy. That guy is terrible at his job. Because the whole there was a reason Toontown took so long to build, and then once they opened Toontown at Disneyland, they had to close half of it again because it was flooding because the land wasn't graded right.
And whenever it rains heavily, you can't get to Toontown because that little divot floods. It's a mess over
there. Fire that guy. That guy does not need a job.
Let me get my Alex Jones conspiracy on. What if this is just a way to close things so you can fix them without the PR nightmare of being like, we screwed it up?
I think people are going to be very disappointed when those walls come down and it's the same. I saw the side of the house. The side of the house looks fine, and
aren't
the
they doing
inside.
Updates? Aren't they doing updates to the side closest to Splash Mountain? Not Splash Mountain. Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I don't think so. I think it's literally just the land, the ground leveling there. But
I heard something about adding some extra.
How do you feel about the size of it? Because that's the big complaint of everybody.
I was about to say two things. The outside needs more weathering or some sort of decoration, and then it really, really messes up coming from now Bayou Country into New Orleans Square. It really messes with the forced perspective of the mansion. Like, it makes the mansion look way smaller than it should. So that's you can't really just fix that. So that's really bad. But if I do have anything good to say about it, the inside is S tier. The inside is absolutely gorgeous.
Really?
They took the AI art down. Inside is amazing. There's a little interactive crystal ball. It looks great. All the details in there are wonderful. The music is great. But the outside, I don't know if needs work is even the right thing to say, because you can't really fix the forced perspective of it after the fact.
No. And were the rumors true about like digital hitchhiking ghosts? Are there digital ghosts?
So I've learned, we were talking about the tech bros being like, oh, we got to find it in the budget to do something. That is actually 50% of it, because that is true. However, there's also the whole room with the rotating animatronics got in the way of that new ADA sort of elevator entrance they did for the ride. So that's why they did the screen also, so they could
to save space.
And Dan, let me tell you, I know you're an East Coast guy, I'm a Disneyland guy, even though I do visit both. So I usually refer to Disneyland as my park and Disney World as yours. Our hitchhiking ghost screens are so much better than your hitchhiking ghost screens.
I bet they are.
It's not even a close competition. It's so much better.
Yours are in sync.
You don't even have to convince. That's not surprising to me. That's not convinced. You don't have to convince me of it. I 1000% believe you.
Super vivid, super crisp, 12K resolution video of just the animatronics doing their little rotating thing. If you didn't tell someone that they were screens, I genuinely think most people wouldn't have noticed. I mean, they're just,
really?
It looks so good.
I love that. I love the idea of advancing technology to do this. Honestly, to do the same thing but a little bit nicer and to save some space. Like, it is beyond shocking that they didn't just be like, and now we've redone the thing and it's facial recognition and we'll continue doing. We'll pull your head off of your body.
Using the power of Disney AI, we can take your face and put it on the hitchhiking ghost's face,
and then sell it for data.
Yeah,
and we'll put it in our gift shop.
In our gift shop, anyone can see it. You just have to ask.
Do you have any more thoughts about the Disneyland?
I have two more things I want to cover.
Okay, lay them on me.
Okay, I got to see the new entrance, the ADA entrance that you go in through the little big mausoleum. Completely themed. There's a screen used.
Did you rent a wheelchair to like use it? Like, is that what you're saying?
I didn't rent a wheelchair. I stole one from an old lady.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Dumped her out.
Get out of here, you broad. I need to go check out some stuff.
She said, "Oh, dear, it's offhand Disney. Of course."
Oh, you're offhand Disney, baby. I know
you're offhand Disney, baby.
You get it.
You're Dallin,
right?
You're Dallin, baby.
You're Dallin, baby.
I'll just lay here.
It's so
you'll
nice.
be back.
It's nice because it's fully themed. It's a fully themed hallway for ADA. You take the elevator down. You're in essentially it's very close to the changing portrait hallway. It's definitely newer, but you have the lightning effects going, and there's music and everything, and then you exit back out into the loading area. But on the way back up out into New Orleans Square, you take the elevator, and halfway up the elevator, a little Leota pops in and says, "Hurry back." So you get that exit. It's a little jump scare because I was in there by myself that whole hallway for 10 minutes, and then I took the elevator up, and it was kind of spooky, but it was a good time.
Hey, this guy isn't handicapped.
Leota's like, get him.
I say, they see me, and I jump out of the wheelchair and run to the railroad.
They used AI to identify you as not handicapped.
Exactly, right. Yeah, as they were scanning my face with their hitchhiking ghosts.
So much wrong with what you just said. We're gonna move on it.
And then something else that I really appreciate that they don't do over at Walt Disney World is early in the morning or late
that's
at night.
a sentence you hear all the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because they actually early in the morning or late at night, if you go and there's not really a standby line, they keep the whole queue open so they don't close off any of the switchbacks. So yesterday, actually, in the morning, when the park had opened, I rope dropped Haunted Mansion, and people were just walking straight up into the mansion through the front porch. But because they keep it open, you could explore back there. You could walk around, take your time, look at all the sets.
That's cool.
With no one else back there, completely alone, just looking at all the new stuff in the extended queue, and then rejoin. So that was really cool. They should do that with
Spooky Birdhouse still there?
The Spooky Birdhouse is, I believe, still there.
Like on the corner of the mansion?
Yeah. They also, one last thing before we move on, because I know we're on a time crunch here. New lore drop. They have a little operator's booth next to where you the lightning lanes will come in and merge with the standby. And it's the groundskeeper. It's a little groundskeeper's hut. It's got his scarf, his lantern, his shovel, his hat, and a dog bone with a bone in it, a dog bull with a bone in it, and the bull has the name Bones written on it. So the dog's name is Bones. Canonically confirmed.
We now have a name for him.
For the dog. Yep, the dog's name is Bones.
Okay.
And that's it. That is me compressing a 2.5 hour long video into about 30 minutes there.
You made a 2-hour video about all this?
I might. I mean, I filmed so much these past 2 days. I'm probably going to end up making a 2-hour video.
Amazing. That's cool. I love that we got new lore, a lore extension with the bones thing. That feels in the spirit of the mansion versus what happened with all the candelabras that are now like Liberace's ghost moved.
Right. Liberace's ghost is following us around. And so that brings the whole other lore thing with the stretching portrait being Constance, maybe not now. So stay tuned. Yeah. I'll have a video.
Are they going to change that?
Dan,
Are they going to change that? Are they going to change her?
Dan, I don't know.
The domino implications
it really did change a lot, because Constance, you didn't realize it until after they changed it, but she's really intertwined with a lot of the mansion. And now even more so. Because
she's been like a centerpiece of the mansion since its inception, they couldn't get the Hatbox Ghost to pop off, and like that was like the spooky attic thing. Like it was like the climax before you effectively die. You get thrown out the window. Like she kills you, I think.
It was the big moment before the ride turned fun.
Right. And now it's bizarrely switched into like, oh, we're all so sad. Let's all jump out the window together. I don't know. Let's Heaven's Gate this thing.
If Constance If Constance jumped out of a window, would you, Dan? Apparently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Jonestowning it. All right.
Let's get wishing.
So, treasuring.
We don't wish anymore.
This is an extension of lore. I want to keep talking about mansion lore because I did some investigative work. I cracked into the treasure, and now I've come back to report to you, Dallin, the things I found. In addition to the thing that's in this box.
Oh, I know what's in there.
But that's our fun and tell for later. So you just hold on for a second.
I'm giddy with excitement.
All right. Are you ready for this? Because I really like broke it down, and I kind of began to understood like what was going on here. Okay. So the parlor, the Haunted Mansion parlor, is a room, and this is where it gets weird. And I'm connecting dots, maybe not, but the Haunted Mansion parlor is a room on the other side of one of the doors in the corridor of doors. It is it's like a multiversal like
Doctor Strange Sanctum.
Yeah. Yes. So we are effectively like it is a corridor of doors door. Now I don't know.
Say
if
that again.
Just
3 times
it's
fast.
It's a corridors of doors door, and the space inside of that is said to belong to a sea captain who died while preparing to marry his fiancée at sea. Okay.
That is huge lore implications, actually.
Huge lore implications, right? And so we have a lot of the mansion bits, including the face armchair, the staring wallpaper, you know what I mean? A lot of that. And in addition to the fact that all of the ghosts, like you just saw the first one where it was all red, that's the Hatbox's ghost in the parlor. And when it turns green, that's Leota's ghost in the parlor. So all of the ghosts that are in the mansion have access to this space. Like there is a shared, and like all of the ghosts from the ballroom ghost to the dancing ballroom ghost to the hitchhiking ghost, they all kind of
different
have
colors. Or just these two?
No. The only Leota and Hatbox, I believe, like change the environment of the room, and then the room does a hard reset after it's possessed back to its normal state, and then it decays again, like the entrance to
cool.
To the thing. So all of the portraits, all of the things in the room start as like their normal version, like the version that like when they were first created, and then you see them be possessed and decay and kind of fall apart. And so we have a couple new portraits in here, Dallin, and I kind of want to run them.
That's based off of a piece of concept art.
Almost all of this is, buddy. And so tell me about this Blackbeard here, because this is how he starts, and then eventually his head falls into his bucket of gold, and he's pouring his chalice down his throat.
So this, I guess, just lends even more credence to Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion being connected. Now, I don't know. This is based off of a piece of concept art of Captain Gore from the original storyline where he was the owner of the mansion. This very much looks like Blackbeard. I believe Captain Gore's beard was...
This is Blackbeard. This canonically references Blackbeard.
Yeah, Captain Gore's beard was a different color. I think he had a Disney Dan beard. But this... Would this be the owner of the parlor, or do you think...
No. The parlor is the owner of it is the sea captain, which we'll get to. This
Captain
is
Culpepper. I don't know. Yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah. So this is just a possessed portrait of Blackbeard. And what is cool about this, Dallin, is that these portraits are like, they're really swinging dick versus like the haunted mansions in the park. Cause it's more like the Hogwarts portraits. They're all living portraits. They are not, they don't just transform. Like his little eye is blinking inside that bucket as he's pouring his, and like the characters kind of like blink or they'll look around a little bit. They have life to them, like a Harry Potter portrait. Versus insane. Like it's gorgeous. And what's crazy is that these things are like they must be OLEDs, God bless OLEDs, but like they don't emit any light. Like they're screens that emit zero light, and then they're matte. Like they have like just like Hogwarts. If you've been to Hogwarts and you've seen it all, I know, Dallin, you're not offhand Universal.
Not yet.
But we gotta go. But buddy, at the next Orlando Informer, I'm going to get you invited. I'm going to get you down there and so get you invited. So we're going to get it done. So we have Blackbeard. Nathan, let's hop to the next one. Here is Culpepper. Here's the captain. This is the sea captain. And it has the same energy as the ghost host. His portrait just fully decays and it's not living. It's the only one that doesn't really live. It just decays. And it has about like 10 stages of decay, just like the main entrance ghost, the ghost host portrait.
This is very, you can tell this is very much a trace over of Gracie, of the Gracie portrait from 100%. Disney World. Yep. But yeah, so this is the owner of the...
This is the sea
room,
captain.
I guess, yeah.
This is the sea captain who died at sea while preparing to marry his betrothed. And I believe that he was sailing on or was potentially attacked by the Flying Dutchman, which is another portrait in the room.
Right, and yeah, in the mansion. I don't know, looking at this, if this is Culpepper. Because Culpepper is the fisherman guy. He's not the sea captain.
Oh, okay. We have a mariner portrait to show you.
So that might be Culpepper, but I need to learn the name of this guy.
I had heard the story behind this portrait was that he was normal, and then Disney took away the inclusion key, and then he died.
Oh my gosh, Nathan, you absolute psychopath.
See, now everybody's gonna know what day we recorded this on too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, he has a letter in the room that reads, "To the reader of this letter, welcome. I have always loved the sea. As soon as I learned to walk, I toddled right into the ocean, like Moana. In my later years, I served proudly as a captain of a luxurious ocean liner. Every voyage its own adventure. In fact, my fiancé and I were to be wed at sea, a celebration of my two greatest loves. It was not to be. I untimely demise saw to that. In life, I treasured my private parlor, where I often entertained guests, passengers and guests. I cannot enjoy it in the way that I did before, but mind you, I do still enjoy it. I hope you will visit my parlor. All guests, dear or departed, invited or otherwise, are welcome. Sincerely, the captain." So he's just the captain.
The captain. See, now this has me even more interested because I was learning from my good friend while I was at the Disneyland mansion just this past day that in the new ADA hallway that I was talking about for the Disneyland mansion, some of the light fixtures have that White Star Line cruise ship sort of from the Titanic.
Really?
So that also might be another sort of connection there to that parlor.
Okay, interesting. All right, Nathan, what do we got next?
We have a picture of a ship, which I'm working on.
Oh, the Flying Dutchman. I'm curious if this is the same.
I'm going to see this, yeah. I'll be able to tell right away if it's the same or if it's different.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
The Dutchman.
That's the Dutchman. That's the 1969 Haunted Mansion Flying Dutchman right there.
Cool. And what's nice in this, I don't think I have a shot of it, but like it also decays. This one does, like the sails all get torn up, the sea becomes more violent,
stormy. Is it just transforms gradually into what happens when the lightning flashes kind of thing?
As the room decays, but the lightning flash isn't necessarily like a gimmick here. The portraits like decay like they do in the pre-stretching room.
Do you think that they're gonna switch out the lightning ones at Haunted Mansion?
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so because the gimmick is too strong there.
I like the gimmick.
And it's in the audio. It's just part of it.
I don't think spend long enough in front of them.
This is a heightened version. If we were to build a new Haunted Mansion, if we were to do a new Mystic Manor, like this technology would be used. I would imagine this technology is going to be used maybe in Casita, and in Encanto.
Totally,
so
100%.
I'm sure we're going to see it. All right,
Haunted
next.
Mansion 2, Dan?
Haunted Mansion 2, Electric Boogaloo.
We're getting Test Track 3. Might as well get Haunted Mansion 2.
Do you want the tank?
Okay, so here is the aquarium with ghost fish, and we've talked about Rolly in the last episode. There really isn't anything. I didn't even put a screenshot in here of the candle face bust because we talked about it all. But this thing is absolutely stunning. It's a masterpiece of like craftsmanship, and it looks just like Rolly's original little spooky
minus Dan, the fish with boobies.
Minus the fish with boobies, but it's in the middle of a very small parlor, so it couldn't be elevated. But it couldn't be elevated because they pepper ghost fish into it. They use pepper ghost
fish, right?
Skeleton fish, and you can kind of spot it from this picture. You can see the bright like lines of like little mini screens that they like reflect out into. But when the room decays and like enters its chaos phase, the fish appear, and it's very, very cool. It's very, very cool. I need
to set foot in this parlor at least once in my life because like you said, this seems like Imagineering just going crazy with the Haunted Mansion. Whereas at Disneyland and Disney World they have to very, very strict set of rules they have to adhere to. Here it's like
right. Well, I have good news for you there, buddy. You don't have to worry about the treasure, that $5,000 treasure cruise, because they're putting the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Destiny as well. They're putting it on 2 boats.
Oh.
There's not going to be a third original bar on the Destiny. It's going to be a duplicate because the Star Wars bar I don't think has done well versus the hype that this thing has pushed.
It's the parks people, and that's the one me and you are going on, Dan.
The Destiny, baby.
The Destiny. That's our Disney Destiny. Disney Dan's and Dallin's Destiny.
Oh man, we're gonna have a whole party on the Destiny. I can't wait. Yeah. All right, what's the next thing we got?
We'll skip the red and green because we've already went over them, but we have some
What's cool though about when Leota takes over is that she has shelves of instruments around the room, and the instruments are projection mapped so that when she says like, with your tambourine, the tambourine like comes to life on the shelf and like plays, or like ring a bell, the bell comes to life. So it's very, very cool. It's this really cool effect where they have tiny, precise projection mapped little bits that like will pop up during like certain moments, which is cool.
Disney loves their projection mapping these days.
Leota was the invention of projection mapping.
Yeah, she's the original. Yeah, that's
so they do.
Cool.
They really do love it. They really do love it. What else we got? This is the clock. Yeah. This is the haunted clock. Now, whenever the room begins to decay, this clock activates. This is like the room is about to descend sort of like warning sign that like the Hatbox Ghost is about to come, Leota's about to come, something's about to happen with it, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I love how it's modeled after the big demon grandfather clock, of course, because you have to. And with the 13, that looks awesome. So it's green for Leota, red for Hatbox Ghost, right?
Right. Yeah. And I guess the canon is that this is a funeral, like a ghostly funeral for the captain, and the ghosts come to pay their respects.
What does that
during
mean?
His funeral? Well, I'm not exactly sure. He died at sea.
Ghost funeral?
Maybe he's finally moving on to heaven, right? And
he died away from the mansion, effectively, and he was murdered, which is another important thing to talk about. But we'll get to that portrait in just a second. All right.
Some portraits.
Next portrait. Here's the Mariner.
That is Culpepper Klein.
That's Culpepper Klein. There you go. And it's very cool because he's like alive in the picture. Like he moves his shoulders.
I've never seen the before version of that.
He looks around, and so we got the before and the after version, which is very, very cool. So that's cool. That's Culpepper, and because he's in the mansion.
He's in the mansion. Yeah, he's got a tombstone,
but not
as
a changing portrait. But not a changing portrait. It's just that one portrait in the corner.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but then it never ended up being. So it's like I said, it's interesting to see the before here. Finally,
this one.
Yeah, it is. But this one is really clever.
It's
because
the cat lady, but fishified.
Yeah.
So if you see here on the right, that is her as the bride. This is the sea captain's bride, who is a murdering mermaid in disguise. So she lures him off his boat at sea and kills him like a mermaid does, like a siren. Yeah. And then she transforms into her true self, which is she reverse aerials. You know what I mean? And but it's cool because she also will occasionally turn her whole head, reach over and move around a little bit. It is very, very neat. She's a cool one. She's definitely
now,
cool.
Dan, I am noticing that in her murderous fish form, she does have a hatchet. Are we inspiring little girls to go around chopping off heads with that? That might be a problem.
Yeah.
Is it a hatchet or is it seaweed?
No, it's a hatchet, man.
This is confusing me because this isn't Constance Hatchaway, obviously, because Constance isn't a fish. This isn't Constance, the new bride, because Constance doesn't have an axe; she has a candelabra.
Right.
But this is a bride Tied to the Haunted Mansion.
This is the sea. It's a sea bride. It's a sea bride. It's a mermaid bride.
Different character.
Yeah.
Who wins in a fight?
Who wins in a fight?
Catwoman, Constance, or sea.
Just bride against bride.
I think Constance
I guess it depends on how wet it is. Is it raining?
Oh, this is a very good point. Constance wins on land.
Are they fighting in a pool, or what are they doing?
Right. This is a good point. Valid. All valid.
Are they fighting in a pool? Are they fighting, in the jungle? Cat obviously has the
advantage
there. Yeah.
All right.
Are they fighting in front of a broken window? You never know.
Here's my favorite one. This was one right when you walk in. It's Poseidon. And what I love about it is there's a little bit of bounce and squish to the character, but Poseidon and his seahorses have huge eyes, and they're always looking around like there's somebody like on the other side. Like they're never static. They're always looking around.
That's
like
really
someone's
cool.
watching you. Very, very cool one. And this is obviously Poseidon.
And this is a take on the Black Knight from the Mansion.
Right. Yep. We have like ocean versions of things, which I think is cool.
I love that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But they work them into the narrative. Like it's not like, we just made an ocean version of Cat Lady. She's the bride that kills the sea captain at sea. Like it's like, that kind of like cool lore stacking. And then finally we have it's not a Medusa.
Fish?
I believe she's called the Voodoo Queen.
Some eels.
She's the Voodoo Queen, and this is a mermaid Medusa twist. She can see she has gills like the mermaid bride does, and it's not snakes, it's eels. So, and it's interesting because we kind of had a decree. Imagineering had this weird decree, and it heavily influenced Tiana's Bayou Adventure that don't mess with voodoo. Like, don't mess with voodoo. And yet here we are with this Voodoo Queen. But my favorite bit about this, Dallin, and you're going to love this, is that they play grinning ghosts at a certain point when the room is fully possessed by Leota. Like it fully devolves into grinning ghosts at a certain point. And she sings the solo. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Out to grinning ghosts, come out to socialize. Like she sings it like a lounge singer. Like the portrait comes to like...
she's the entertainment.
She's the entertainment for that little 5 minute like little beep. So that I think is very
insane.
Cool. Wow. Very cool like level of like lore building.
I'm wondering.
Is this first mermaid? We've had mermaids in Haunted Mansion lore before this, right? There's been like, has there been any?
We have sea. We've had the sea in it before, but not necessarily mermaids.
Because we've had mermaids in Pirates, but I don't think ever in Mansion.
Yeah. And now Pirates and Mansion are deeply connected, so the lore exists. Yeah. But to say that it's just been Sea Captain. Maybe a wink and a nod to the fact that there's like something out there, but no.
No, Dan, you raise a good point with like the whole don't mess with voodoo thing and the hatchet that it's on the treasure. Or on the treasure and the Destiny soon. Is Imagineering communicating? Are these the same teams? Are these different teams? There's no if you're gonna pretend to do this because you have these certain values, do it everywhere instead of just not caring.
No one's communicating, Dallin. What do you think? What do you think?
The cannons work at Disneyland now. The cannons don't work at Disney World. They don't want to talk.
Right. Well, yeah, because the Imagineers at Disneyland are like, well, I can't see it from my house over in Florida, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. Bob's yacht doesn't go over there. It stays in the Mediterranean. So he's not worried about Florida. Were there any more pictures from the mansion before we move on? So lots of lore implication there, Dallin, that I think
huge. I need to write this all down.
When the Destiny cracks open, we'll get in there because you can do a 4-night, which is a lot cheaper than the 7-night, and a lot more affordable. But that's not the only lore that we've explored here on the treasure, because other doors get opened up a little bit in terms of the SEA, Dallin. So I don't know if you're even remotely dialed into the fact that the Skipper Lounge, much like the Skipper Canteen in Magic Kingdom, has the same vibe, but it's covered with postcards, photos, newspaper clippings, and different types of articles and whatnot. And we have some truly hilarious bits and bobs in this.
I love that. I can already see that Skipper Felix.
Yep, Skipper Felix, and he has an application for employment. Now, I punched in to his experience. Do we have the image of because all of his job experiences have failed in spectacular ways. Family baker, reason for departing, fire. Career orange juice factory, reason for departing, couldn't concentrate. Career sardine factory, reason for departing, got canned. Career, taxi driver, recent departing, went the extra mile. Ice cream maker, had a meltdown. Glass bottom boat driver, career was on the rocks. This bar is packed with these kinds of bits and bobs that truly light up my heart.
Jungle Cruise. That's so
it's
amazing.
Magnificent. It's magnificent. The walls are covered in jokes. Now, this isn't necessarily some SEA lore, but I just wanted to kind of bring up and show you a little bit of like the chaos.
I'm sure there's a couple things in there.
Well, buddy, I took photos and I'm about to show you every single piece of written note and lore that's on the walls, and just in case anything catches your eye.
All right.
Hey, Skips, friendly reminder to find your home with the Jungle Crew. They were all one big jungle family. Your crew is like your favorite cousins. If you had any questions, contact a crew representative, Kungaloosh, Alberta, Banana Troop. There are lots of different troops, and I don't know, does the SCA have different troops that like different like divisions of animals?
I think the troop is actually skipper related.
Yeah, that would be JNC, the Jungle Navigation Company, rather than SCA.
Okay.
Although I do believe Alberta is a member. She might not be. I know she's head
Alberta
of the
is
JNC.
Albert's daughter, who is a member of the SCA, right?
He is a member, yes. I don't know if Alberta is.
Oh, well, she's got to be. She
has to be, yeah. She's the head of the Jungle Navigation Company.
Now, we do know what 5571 stands for, correct? We're all
No.
Oh, easily.
You don't know
the dates of the openings of the parks.
Disneyland.
Disneyland and Magic Kingdom, yeah.
That's funny. All right, Miss AF.
Well, just so the listeners know, we're looking at a telegram.
Yeah, now we moved on to a jungle telegram. D. Cole's president, D. Gill, first vice president. Miss AF, Miss Alberta Falls, would it be possible to use Albert's C room for the next annual meeting in December? Please respond, Captain Mo. Who's Captain Mo?
I don't know Captain Mo. I'll have to do some research on this, but I'm already picking up on some things here, like 7 Only Road Adventureland. Adventureland is a place, we all know that. Yeah. Only Road makes me think Disneyland because there's only one road through there. But apparently this is Disney World because the SEA room is in the Skipper Canteen.
Yeah. This is really connecting a lot of really great stuff. All right, let's go to the next telegram. Or the next one. Here are the different divisions that what have you seen these before?
Never.
The Upstream Society, 5571, the PAX, the Bot Crashers, and the Avis. These are heavily referenced throughout.
These are unions.
It's weirdly like it's weirdly
factions within the JNC.
Yeah. It is. I love this. I love this little bit of because we saw 5571 these kind of like little notes are left everywhere. They're it also feels weird like camp. It's like which house are you in camp or Hogwarts or something.
Somebody likes patches in Imagineering because they just did a bunch for Country Bear Jamboree as well.
They do love patches. Yeah,
we're in our patch era.
Well, they're very accessible. They're very accessible.
Sell them.
Not Upstream Society. Not Upstream Society. Not Upstream Society. As they're getting sorted.
Oh yeah, that sorting hat. Upstream Society.
Sorting.
Shit.
Boat crashes.
Sorting safari hat. Sorting.
The sorting safari hat. Oh my god! Yeah, with a little leather strap mouth.
Yep. Someone make that, please.
Amazing.
Newspaper.
All right, what else we got? So the newspaper
is probably so much in here.
Oh my gosh, there really is. I took like 1 or 2 little close-up screenshots. Specifically, Jungle Cruise Navigation Company loses 2 boats. The Malong Maiden and the lighting was so dark in these little areas.
Dan, good because I thought maybe these weren't working anymore, and I couldn't. see.
Yeah. No. The lighting, and it was all like this really harsh uplighting, as you can see. So like it just wasn't the best. But report by Skip Doc Monkey is what?
What a name on that.
Who is Skip Doc Monkey?
I think that's Dutch.
Doc Monkey.
But I wonder if this feels like a little nod to the time those 2 boats sank. You know what I mean?
It's not to the chimpanzees piloting the boats.
Yeah. Which is so great. And then like the newspaper is full of ads.
Reference to the best restaurant at Disneyland.
Yeah, it has 2 different. It has a review of the Bengal barbecue and an ad for the Bengal barbecue. There's also an ad for the Adventureland Trading Company gift shop. That's in Adventureland. Like it's some really really cute stuff. And
tiger tail.
None of this is Laura Ipsum or AI. Like these are fully written newspaper articles. I sat there and read most of them. I love the community announcements from Missing Bird, White Cockatoo, Voodoo, Answers to Rosita, Unclaimed Luggage Sale, Open Auditions for Enchanted Tiki Room, Proper Patty's Piranha Petting Pool closed until further notice.
That is a genius one to put in there. That I feel like is an Imagineer in-joke because the piranhas are never working at Disneyland. They never work. This is closed until further notice is genius.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Free cooking course hosted by Trader Sam. Bring a friend.
That's I don't know how that got past anybody. That's the last reference.
No one pays attention to the cruise line, bro. No one.
Going back.
It's some of their finest work that Disney's doing is on this cruise line.
I'm thrilled with it.
Guarantee you.
Yay, cannibalism.
We have to change the facade for the Disney World Jungle Cruise from spears and skulls to, navigation equipment because that's insensitive. However, cannibalism, that's hilarious.
No, we all can do that. There's nothing, there's no cultural appropriation when it comes to cannibalism.
Watch this, Dan. We're going to go on the Destiny and we're going to look at this and it's going to be changed because we're talking about it right now.
Well, on the Destiny, the Skipper Society bar that all these photos are from is going to be Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum bar.
Oh, which makes me sad, but also really excited because that sounds awesome. It's like a bonus Haunted Mansion room.
Yeah, this is 100% the theme park boat. The Destiny is action adventure, like Avengers
Marvel.
Campus.
Yeah.
Avengers Campus. Also, it's also a boat for the POC out there. It has a very strong POC voice with the Wakanda atrium, Lion King, a dinner show.
You guys will fit right in.
A black presenting Hercules for Hercules the musical. So we're going to have that, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait for that energy.
Because you mentioned Sanctum Sanctorum. That's essentially the Haunted Mansion just again. So that'll be really fun to see.
Just Marvel Mansion. All right, what else we got? Do you know any of these? I guess this is just a photo of
these are just Imagineers, probably.
The Imagineers that worked on this.
I would assume so.
The rooms are full of the pictures of these guys. They're all over the place. So if you know who any of these people are, please report back. You did fine work. You did great work.
That is the Disneyland Jungle Cruise. You can tell by that little building in the back.
And just wanted to say that we are on the EMS Empress in this bar. This bar is canonically a boat. And I don't know what was the boat from the movie. What was the Rock's boat?
The Rock's boat.
It's called the Rock's boat. I'll look it up.
I think it was one of the classic ones, like the Mekong Maiden or the Nile Nelly or something like that.
God, I forgot that movie existed.
L'Aquila. It says it has a weird Spanish name. Okay.
Remember when we all thought that was going to be great? What a time.
Okay. Well, let's get there because the boat references the movie. There's some movie references. So
okay.
What else we got here?
Let's see. Another telegram.
To Alberta Falls, I recently had the pleasure of taking one of your jungle cruises. I wanted to reach out and commend your crew on their amazing work. I'm a bit of a showman myself, and they have inspired me to pursue some ideas of my own. Thank you for the amazing experience, WD.
WD.
Who do you think sent that telegram?
Oh, well,
Dallin?
that's got to be Wendell.
Wendell Dorkbit.
So this is 1937, which implies WD would be 36 years old. So this is a post Snow White WD taking a tour on the Jungle Navigation Company.
Yeah.
It's Walt Disney, by the way. I don't know how long we keep the bit going.
Yeah, we got to talk the lore though here, which I have a little trouble with because if Adventureland is a separate area, but it's also inside of Disneyland, is the theory here that Walt Disney built the rest of Disneyland around? No, not a replica.
Oh no.
Are we sure? Are you sure he didn't just build Disneyland around?
Because lore-wise, Adventureland's a real place.
We're going to get there. There's a map that we're going to see that has camp outlined around the Nile. So it's clear he went here. He went to a location, and that map is right next to here. It's right next to that. It's in the same little booth. So you can see where camp is. White Nile, headwaters of the Nile. There was no denial joke, but on this, but I mean, I guess it's. I imagine the bartenders were not really plugged in to making jokes like the Skipper Canteen.
That's so sad.
They weren't, and I think there might have been some cultural barriers there because they're not American. These guys didn't grow up riding the Jungle Cruise. You know what I mean?
Anaheim, California, yeah.
Missy AWOL, sister, expedition is taking longer than anticipated. Continue to broadcast on my behalf. Do not allow Nigel near the microphone. Albie. Well, Miss AWOL is a great joke, but I love because Nigel is the one in the queue that's always like buggering on, right?
Yeah, and so this obviously is a failed attempt. Nigel is the guy talking in the queue for
Nigel won. Nigel
well,
won
because
Nigel wins.
Albert AWOL is is he still playing the queue as well?
Albert AWOL?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. There is a bit about that.
Maybe
it's that maybe
too short
maybe
I'm there.
Albert, Nigel, Missy, they're all from the same family.
Well, no, I know this one actually. Hold on, I almost think I know this one exactly. I need to check one thing, and I don't think it's going to come up because it's yes. Okay, so I get this one now. This is Albert AWOL, the voice at Disneyland, and I think the voice at Magic Kingdom, but I'm not going to call myself on that one. And he's saying, "Don't let Nigel near the microphone." Nigel Greenwater is voiced by Brendan Clay, and is the Christmas Jingle Cruise broadcaster. Who's excited to do it because Albert's gone and he's the sub.
Oh, wow. So look at that deep cut.
Yeah. They really, for a company that hates bringing the Jingle Cruise back, they sure love to reference the Jingle Cruise.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
wow, look at that absolute
what a
deep
cut there, Nathan.
Whoa,
congratulations.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. All right, what
thanks
else we
to
got?
Kevin Lively as well for that.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Kev. Okay, here we go. To JNC, greetings from Hollywood. Finally made it. No star sightings to report. Hope to pitch our idea to studios soon. Can you imagine a whole motion picture about the Jungle Cruise? Skipper Sean. P.S. Take good care of Irvine for me.
Well, that's
it only took them 90 years, but they finally got around to
it. Yeah. Who's Irvine?
Who is Irvine?
I don't know.
It's got to be from. Is it the tarantula in the queue? I could be wrong. In the Disney World queue, Irvine from the Jungle Cruise.
I'm getting a Skipper Sean.
Skipper Sean.
I'm doing some research here real quick. Skipper
Well,
Sean.
I'd imagine it's the director or producer of the film, right?
Is this one of the newer guys?
No,
as part of the you know how they're like on the pole, and one of them's got a camera.
Oh,
Skipper Sean is an individual who worked on the Colonial Jungle Navigation Company in the wilds of Adventureland during the late 1930s. While Skipper Sean was also a filmmaker, by the September of 1935, he moved to Hollywood. Camera. Yes, let's see here.
I don't think because the only skipper on that pole is Felix.
Okay, so they're talking about this. There's another image in the Magic Kingdom trophy case. Is Skipper Sean's trophy from the Adventureland Film Festival. Albert Fall's office is a message to her from Sean.
I'm telling you guys, this bar is a masterpiece. It's truly a masterpiece.
It's tying together plot threads that I didn't even know existed.
So this is not a new telegram. This was in Skipper Canteen.
Yes.
Or no, it was in Jungle
Cruise. It's a reference to it.
Yeah, it's the same telegram.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. There's a little bit of trivia. The name of Sean's movie is a parent reference to Steven Spielberg's horror film Jaws, where protagonist Martin Brody famously exclaims, "We're going to need a bigger boat."
Yep. That's the award says. There's a picture of it. I just had it, even though I just got rid of it.
It is
like
for
he won
a
the bigger boat prize.
BOTE boat.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? There's just a few more left.
We got a cat.
Yeah.
The playwright.
Missing playwright urgent.
I love the playwright because
there's
just so many layers to the joke because he's a missing playwright. Why is he a playwright? Where did he go? Also, why is it a cat? Also, why is the cat wearing clothes? There's so many layers. I love it so much.
But you can see there's a little note there. A representative from the Adventure Trading Company will be joining us next Wednesday. Please check your provisions today. Skipper Joey, the pack. So it's clear that the skippers all, and I have to wonder if they're not wearing patches, but it feels like that was like be the energy if someone had the power to like. I wouldn't
be surprised if soon that they started wearing patches.
Oh, it sounds like a new Disneyland.
It would be really cool. Yeah, let
Skipper
the cast
Jerry,
members get sorted.
Please pick up the banana phone. It's great. It's great.
Is this a reference to Raffi by any chance? The banana phone? I don't know if you know the music of Raffi.
I don't know, man.
Called Banana
I think
Phone.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, that was a long time ago, but I think it actually might be.
Yeah. There is a song called Banana Phone. Here's a postcard.
Now there are about like 5 of these postcards, and they're all from Alberta to like they're from Alberta to like random different people. It's about being on the EMS. They're specific, and I read through a lot of them, and they really don't have a lot going on.
What does EMS stand for? Do you know?
It's the big
Empress something, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Because HMS is His Majesty's.
Oh, EMS.
Oh, it might be HMS. I might be. EMS. No, EMS Empress is what it's called. It's the EMS Empress.
Oh, okay. I wonder what EMS stands for.
Or the HMS Empress. I have no idea. I'm seeing like several different.
I'm not seeing anything about EMS being.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah, so maybe hop to the next.
His postcard. Or Her Majesty's ship is what HMS.
His or Her Majesty's, for. Yeah.
Next postcard.
Dear cousin Puffin from Alberta, help Rosa when you can.
She's in the ride. Yep.
Yep. The crew is so friendly.
Puffin is the horticulturist at the top of the pole. Or not
amazing.
Aviation person, bird person.
Dear Camilla, but there is a horticulturalist, and this corner has a bunch of horticulture. Rosa has a painting class, and she has paintings of the different like plants and stuff like that.
And Camellia, I believe, she's also on that pole.
Dear Camilla, I know how much time you spend in the air and how exhilarating that you are an aviator, but you really must take to the seas one of these days.
Wait, this is no. Camilla's not on that pole. Camilla Falco is the.
Oh no, she's soaring. She's soaring.
In
yeah,
Tokyo.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's lots of like layers of theme park lore here, where Alberta is writing to
related.
Different corners. Here's where she's writing to Rosa.
Is the painter. Yeah.
Yep. Company while out searching for my missing father. So she's out. The repeating theme in all of these postcards is she's looking for Albert Falls.
The lore is that Albert is missing.
Yeah. The lore is that Albert is missing.
That's more fun. That's a more fun movie
really fun.
Too.
Mary Oceaneer. Yep.
And Captain, thanks for recommending this ship. So we are on the HMS Empress with Alberta, essentially, in this little thing, and she's out searching. But here, Captain Frank sends his regards and hopes to see you again soon in Zanzibar. That is a movie reference.
It is
Captain Frank. Is it
because Captain Frank is the name of Frank is the Rock.
Oh, you're right. In Casablanca, Captain Frank.
No, I think in the movie The Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, you keep saying in Casablanca, so
I know. I was thinking I had Casablanca because I heard Zanzibar, and I know about the whole plane thing in the Jungle Cruise being from the Casablanca scene, even though it's not. But no, that is a reference to the Rock.
Well, and then of course Mary Oceaneer from Typhoon Lagoon, the official
and the
address.
Oceaneer Club,
Mayday Steam Line's home office. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's so much fun. May the wind always be at your back. Your confidant, Alberta. So, some really great. And now on the menu, and I was hoping you guys could help me figure this out, because on the menu, I think this is the last one. There's a little doodle on the bottom corner of the menu that says, Sal plus Chet B, lost bags, July 30th, Croc incident. And then there's a weird number. Code. Yeah, the area code's the Orlando area code. Orlando, but what's 1921? I don't get that. Is that Disney's start date? I thought it was 1923.
It is 23. 21. Would it be Would it be like an Alice comedies sort of thing, like the first Alice comedy or something?
Maybe.
Croc incident. I'm trying to think.
The Croc incident we don't talk about. Oh, Walt's Laugh-O-Gram started in 1921.
1921. I was about to say, one of the earlier, probably before the Disney Brothers.
The only other thing I was trying to think of is when did Peter Pan come out as a book? A little earlier, right? 1902, 1911.
Now Dan has a forbidden treasure, a mystical
forbidden treasures.
Was that the last picture, Nathan?
Yeah, we're all set on pictures. Let me try.
Amazing.
Let's take a peek.
So, I made the screen really big here. Whoops. So that was really fun, and so now it's time to do a little bit of fun and tell. All right. and talk about some fun. And we saw this, and you're going to love this, Dallin, because it brings back Mermaids with Boobies. It is the snow globe. The snow globe of the Ghost Fish box has the stands of the mermaids with, rather flat chests, but still, it's there.
Yeah.
The illusion is there. It's got the little specters in here. Almost didn't get this through TSA, but I'm blessed. And
really?
so
that looks so good.
It's such a great little snow globe.
Wonderful.
And I love it. It's got but we didn't mention this when we talked about the parlor, but Dallin had a special request for me.
I saw it and I said I had to. Look at that. Come on.
There's a beautiful music box on the boat in the parlor that's haunted, and it has the ghosts from the organ inside the music box as the spectral. Now this doesn't have that. It's more of a traditional a box here, but I do like that it has the Leota eye, and what's nice is when you open it up, it plays the mansion parlor theme.
Is that the parlor theme from the ship?
Yep, absolutely. And so it is magnificent.
I love that.
The little show and tell here for you. This is what Dallin and I have been doing for fun lately. It's just
showing off
exclusive mansion merch. And Dallin, let me tell you something. This thing is heavy. I'm going to put the little tab back in here so you. I
wanted a big weighty thing for my collection, and that definitely is one.
Oh my god, man! It's just gonna forewarning. It's gonna cost like $70 to ship. It's weighs 15 pounds.
I'll Venmo you the full amount plus an extra $115 to cover the tab. I'm sure that the or no. So how does the lounge work? Because it's a cruise. I know some of it is included, but
no. When you're in a bar, anything you order is even soda you have to pay for.
Okay,
they have canned soda.
Speaking of heavy, though. My fun intel this episode is grab it. Taschen had its annual sale. If you don't know anything about Taschen, it's a huge company, and I got myself the James Bond archive.
Oh wow!
Which is
let's see how thick that is. Good Lord,
huge.
It's like the Gutenberg Bible.
Yeah, it goes through the last Craig film, so it's the full thing now, and. It's not fooling around. It's got beautiful photos and text and all sorts of business. So
wow.
That's cool.
Yeah. High-res scans.
Does it go all the way to Dead James? New Dead James?
Yes, it does everything. So this is the newest edition. So I thought this is the time to buy because it
does
feels
it have a whole section on gadgets and gizmos?
It goes film by film.
Or does it go movie by movie?
Film by movie by movie, but also includes parody films, the Casino Royale parody film in the 60s.
Austin Powers?
Austin Powers?
I don't know if it
I love Austin
things
Powers.
that say James
It's
Bond.
The best James Bond movie, man. It's the best James Bond movie.
Of course, the non-official canon Sean Connery James Bond movie, which was a remake of Thunderball. All that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. There are a couple weird Bond movies that aren't Bond movies.
The rights situation.
They're like little Nosferatu-ish. Know what I mean? That whole plagiarism thing back in the day that no one cared about, but did. I don't know.
There's a great documentary. I cannot remember the name of it. It might be For Your Eyes Only, but it's all about the history of Bond in film, and they go really, really in deep about why Thunderball had weird different rights issues than the rest of them, and then that producer sort of left the Broccoli's and was like, I'm going to do it again. And Sean Connery's like, pay me $1 bajillion and I'll just go ahead and do it again. And they're like, okay. So weird fun history.
Wow.
It's awesome. It's a little time capsule for sure.
Wow. Well, Dallin, hey man, I really appreciate you helping me peel apart the lore of the mansion. And
I feel like there's so much more digging we could do too.
Oh, there is a lot more digging, and maybe this calls for perhaps like a collaboration video where we both dig in deep together of the many things. But yeah, I really had a blast on the treasure. I highly recommend if you guys have the Halcyon cash to drop on a 7-day Disney cruise, then do it. You know what I mean? Because it is worth it, and especially if you're a theme park fan or if you're a theme park or childless millennial Disney adult,
right.
This boat is for you. This boat is for you, and it's packed with adult entertainment. And I didn't even really touch on the fact that they do a whole skipper. They do the whole jungle cruise in the atrium as like an improv game with like 30 guests on each boat. And they do everything from the backside of water to piranhas and hippos and all the puns. But we, the guests, are the animals that are watched as we stand around the atrium. So it's very, very fun. So there's lots of like Jungle Cruise theme park like fun and lore packed into the treasure.
It's a floating theme park.
It is a floating theme park. Truly, it's the definition of it. So you have to check it out. And this has been great, Dallin. Thanks for another swell episode of Foolish Mortals, my friend.
I love talking Mansion. I love talking SCA. I love talking James Bond even a little bit. That was kind of fun. Yeah.
You opened my eyes to so much, man. I wouldn't even realize how deep some of those postcards and things go. I'm going to send you a bunch of the photos so you can you can read them and kind of like investigate a little bit more. So
everybody.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah. Hurry back.
Hurry back.
Hurry back.
Hurry back.
Hey, you're not handicapped. Little Leota AI handicap detection activated.
This has been a production of 710 Media.